Okay, we have the Strongr jump starter and air compressor set, 600 amp peak heavy duty jump starter. It's supposed to start up to a 6.6 liter diesel engine. It's JS-T808B, 21,000 milliamp hour portable power bank. The stickers won't stay on the front and the back, so I'm assuming that they're just there for looks until it sells. Not a biggie. So for the most part, I just take them off. I bought this back in September 2015. It's now January 13th, and first thing I did, it had 70% power when I got it. So I took and charged it to 100% power. Now let's see what it's got left. Is that in focus? Okay, it still has 100% of its charge. It has two outputs for USB, 5 volts, 2.1 amps. It has output here for a computer. It also does the 12 volt, 16 volt, and 18 volt laptops to computers. You have the place to put the alligator clips to start a car. It has input of 15 volts at 1 amp to charge it. It's got the blinking lights and a flashlight. So it's kind of nice. It's got an air compressor that comes with it. You connect the air compressor to the unit, and it has all the other attachments. It's got a cable to connect to your smartphone, Android, Apple. I'm not sure what these other ones are. There, and it's got, you can charge it in the car with the car charger, or you can charge it with the wall charger. It will run I've already put the end, it came with a bunch of different attachments. I put the one that fits my computer on the end here. There, and it's got can you see that? Okay, and mine uses the 18 volts. You plug it in, and then you can attach it to your computer, and as you can see, the lights came on, and it'll power your computer. I don't have a clue how long it'll power the computer because I've never tried it, but it still has 100% of its charge after 5 months, I guess. September, October, November, December, January, part of December. A little over 4 months. So it still has 100% power. So I will check it again in another few months and update this. Probably wait until a whole year to see how long it takes. Let me cut it off. When you take it out, you can see that this will go right off, that it is running from the battery, and you can see how the light goes out. And I'll see how long. I was curious to how long it would last just sitting in the car until I actually needed to use it. Is what this test is all about. If I don't actually have to use it to jump the car, I'll find out sooner or later how long the battery lasts, or will it last for a year and still have enough charge to start the car. Okay, it's May 2nd. We'll see how much. I haven't used it yet, so we'll see how much power it's lost since I charged it. Wow, it's still at 100. So that's about 8 months. And it hasn't really lost any power yet. Okay, today is June 1st. My car wouldn't start the day before yesterday, so I've had to actually go use it. And now we're down to 95%. So best I can tell, it'll last way longer than a year unless I overcharged it. Anyway, I'll update it again in a month or two. Okay, the car won't start. Stuck at work. Let's see what we got here.
So I'm reading less than 1 volt if this is right. Let's zero it. Okay. I'm getting like 0.36 volts. So that's obviously not enough to start the car. I'm going to connect the jumper cables to the box. We have 95% power. And I'm going to connect the positive to the positive. I'll wiggle it a little to make sure I get a good bite. A negative to the negative. I'm also going to see if I can get a read on the output here. And I need to be DC amp. Max. I'm going to turn the unit on. And we'll try to start the car. And turn the unit off. Okay, that went over the limit. This unit will, it has a limit of 600 amps. So apparently this Strongr put more than 600 amps into the car peak. That's the peak amp. So that's basically, this is useless to check it. And now we're running again, so I'll take the cables off. And check it. We're still at 95%, so it doesn't use very much power to start my little 4-cylinder. It's the 2010 Hyundai Accent GS. Today's, I think, June 3rd. Well, my battery is dead. I'm stuck at Walmart. Not really stuck, though. But the car won't start. It says it has 12 volts, 12.10, but it certainly ain't working. So it's not doing anything. Okay, this time I'm going to connect it correctly with the negative first. Positive, making sure it's got good connection, and check how much power we have. We have 93% power. So let's see if it works again. And we're running. Cut it off. Take off the positive first. Then the negative. Plug Where's the cover? I happen to film this on my phone because I'm in the middle of nowhere in the parking lot here. That's about the 6th time I've had to use this, and still has 93% left. So, I don't know, that's the temperature in here is 93 degrees. Hurry up, thing. So the alternator's putting more voltage in it. It's 14.2, so it's not the alternator, it's the old battery. That battery's like 6 years old or more. So, anyway, I'll try it again later. Well, I'm at work. My car won't start again. It's saying 11.6 volts, 11.7. But it ain't doing anything. It's 93.1 degrees. Okay, we have 93%, if you can see that well. We have 93%. This is the 3rd time that it hadn't started today. This time I'm at work, so I'm actually able to use the tripod and camera to do it. This in. Good. Okay, put the negative to the negative. Positive to the positive. Turn it on. Okay, let's see what we get. Hey, that started. Off. Okay, today's Tuesday, August 2nd. Car won't start. So, out in the parking lot. Okay, we're down to 92%. I've used this about 20 times to start the car, so, and it's been 11 months. So I'm going to connect the negative terminal and wiggle it and until I get a good solid feel to it. Connect the positive terminal and wiggle it and move it around and wiggle until I get a good solid feel. Then I'm going to turn the unit on. It's got the 92%. And then we'll start the car. And now we'll quickly, okay, the unit's already off. Disconnect it. And there we go. So, I really need to get a new battery. That battery is like 7 years old, 6 years old. Okay, today's August 17th. I'm at Home Depot parking lot, and the battery's dead again. So, I'll take this little thing. It's got 89% charge. Go connect it. Really hot out here too. We'll connect the negative first. Wiggle it, make sure it's got good contact. Connect the positive. Wiggle it, make sure it's got good contact. Turn it on and it works again. Turn the unit off, disconnect it, and we're back running. Okay, it's September 1st, 2016. I'm in Walmart's parking lot. And the car won't start again. So I'm going to use my little jump starter, which ain't easy to do, and hold the phone camera thing as well. But I'll try. I lost count at 20, so it's at least 20 times. I've had to start this with it. Probably closer to 30. I can't see that display. It's got 87. It's hard to see. It says 87. I don't know if the camera's picking that up or not. It's so bright out here I can't see the screen. Okay. There we go. Now it's got 85 on it. 84. I'm at work now. The battery's dead again. Has 84 on it still. So I'm going to actually, you know what? It starts the car. I'm going to turn it off. Turn the switch off. For some reason, it has power anyway, even though it's off. It'll start the car. See? So that's at least over 30 times. That's twice today. It's 12:50. I've plugged it in. It has a light that comes on when you plug it in. It's got 73% charge on it and a blinking red light. I'm assuming that means that it's charging. So I'm going to see how long it takes to put some more charge back on it. You know that weird blinking light, the way it... I'm curious if it's actually charging right, because it's not going up any. I guess I'll find out in a little bit. See, it kind of does weird blinking once in a while. Okay, it's now 2:08. I went a little over an hour. It's at 80%, so it is charging. It's just taking a while. I thought at first maybe that charger was defective. I thought that red light was supposed to stay on solid. Maybe not. Anyway, it does look like it's working. So I give it more time. Okay, it's 3:06. And it's now at 100. So it took about 2 hours roughly. It took it forever to start going up, but it took about 2 hours to finally go up. Okay, my tire is low. It's on about 20. One thing I've noticed about the unit is even though it's off, it's completely off, it's still, this port is still actually on. So, and there's no way to turn this light off. But let's see. Okay, the unit's showing about 20. Notice that big jump in it. So we have to go a little bit further than 30 in order to have the right amount of air pressure. So you had to turn it off to see what the actual pressure is. It's saying a little over 30. It's supposed to be 32. Let's take it off. Let's see what this says it is. Okay, so it's not quite 30 on this one. That's not quite 30 here. So I don't know why it seems to give a weird reading, but anyway. When it's on, it has something weird going on with it. It's saying about 35. Let's take it off. This is why I prefer the screw-on kind instead of the clamp, because in this area there's no room to work. That quick clamp-on kind doesn't fit in there very well. Okay, so it's actually 30. The unit gets kind of warm as you're using it, so you should only, and the hose gets really hot, so you should only use it for a few minutes at a time, and then let it cool off a little bit. I don't know why the gauge, once you turn it on, the gauge jumps and gives you a wrong reading. I don't know why that is, but as you notice, when you put it back on, it gives you the right reading again. So the gauge is, I guess, kind of accurate and kind of not, depending on the circumstance. That was about what we had from the other one, was close to 30. I might have lost a little trying to put it on, but I'm looking to go to 32 is the proper tire pressure for this car. And watch the needle jump. It jumps about 5 pounds. Okay. And that's pretty close. Kind of close to what I'm looking for, to 32. So if you put this back on, it gives you the right amount. Okay, it's September 6th, Tuesday, 2016. My basic year of testing the Strongr jump starter is over. I did not get to do exactly how I wanted. I wanted to see, although it did actually show that it does, but I wanted to see if you could charge it and leave it in your car for a year and it still start the car. The problem is my car is a 2010, this is 2016, and the battery that's in it is the original battery that came with it. So essentially, I've had to start my car, no joke, at least 30 times. I've actually lost track. When it got around 25 or so, I kind of quit counting, but it started the car 2 and 3 times a day, actually. So I'm going to have to go, now that the test is over, I'm going to have to go get a new battery. But the thing is, the product itself. I said in the earlier part of the video 18 volt, but it's actually 19 volt it puts out. So the cons that I see are very few. If you want to change the, see, I can't read this. That's one of the cons. And that's why I was saying the wrong number too, by the way. See, if I could, well, it automatically shuts off. If I could have my way, I don't know if you can see this on the camera, but that says 12 volts. You push it again, it goes to 16 volts. And then if you push it again, it goes to 19 volts. So, and of course the power is starting to drop as I'm playing with it, but it had 80 something, whatever it was. After starting the car that many times, it still had 80% power after a year. I also just showed how the compressor works on it. The compressor is great. It's one of the reasons I chose this particular model. If you want to nitpick little things, the little switch on it is kind of odd. It pushes, but it's kind of has a funny loose feel to it, but it doesn't interfere with the operation. I prefer the screw-on kind as opposed to that quick connect. And then of course it also has your standard connections here to inflate balls and stuff. So very versatile unit. It plugs in. Now if I had the only real drawback is I called Strongr, and they basically told me that the unit is not waterproof, obviously, but she said that you might want to keep it out of the rain as well, so you don't want it to get wet. So basically I've been keeping it in the little pouch that it came in if I have to use it, but I've only had to use it one time in the rain and I kept it dry. So you want to keep it dry as best you can as well. But other than that, I pretty much demonstrated about everything. You can charge it in the car with the car charger. You can charge it at home. With the wall charger. This is the one that fits my computer. I've shown it works on my computer, and it has all these other connections to go along with it. If we wanted to nitpick anything, the biggest complaint I have is, according to the manual, if you wire it incorrectly, it'll blow something in here or in the unit, but it won't destroy it, and it has to be sent off to be repaired, which I don't really like that, but I'm not planning on wiring it wrong. But what I did not get to check was actually how many amps it's putting out. The manual said 600, but I did test it on my voltmeter, and my voltmeter actually peaked out and went over, so it actually put out over the 600 that it said it would do. Okay, so I did test. The starting current is 400, if that's in the light. Let me find some better light. Okay, the starting current is 400, and the peak current is 750. Now I know we got over the 600 that my unit actually clamp meter only goes to 600, so it couldn't measure anything over that. I may have said 600 earlier. I don't know where I saw that at, but Okay, so there's very little cons about it. It does have the cable to connect to your different Android or iPhone or whatever phone this actually fits. I like this kind of cable better than the one that has the different little tips that you put the little tips on, because that gets annoying. But anyway, so it's got pretty much everything I need to start the car if the battery don't. Enormous amount of power. It'll run output to 2 different USB things at once. The thing I dislike the most is it doesn't warn you if you put the cables on incorrectly. That's what I dislike the most. Second to the most is apparently these are always hot, because if you plug this in, you see the unit is off. If you plug this in, that light comes on. And I've accidentally started the car a couple of times forgetting to turn the unit on. So for some reason that turning it on doesn't necessarily turn it on. What I would like to see is when you go to change these numbers here, instead of them being so tiny, that this whole window lights up blue and it changes, it gives you bigger numbers, so people that are aging, I don't want to say that I am, but people that are aging can see this stuff better. Because you want to see everything as best you can. When you're out in the middle of nowhere, you don't want to worry about where your glasses are, if you know what I'm saying. So that would be an improvement in the next unit if they'd come out with any improvements. The other thing I would like to see is directions and pictures on the product, so you don't have to keep referring to the manual. See, so I don't know how to turn this blinking thing on without looking at the manual, which in the middle of nowhere is inconvenient. It's just a small nitpicky thing. So it has pictures on here. If they would put some kind of pictogram on the unit itself, that would be great. That seems a little overcomplicated, but just getting the right number of pushes down does that. Now the biggest complaint I have, oh, you got to turn it off, I guess, to cut all that off. So what I dislike the most is this is really small. When you stuff it in here and push it all the way down, you don't have very much to hold on to. So it can be difficult, without pulling on the wires, it can be difficult to pull that back out. That's the biggest complaint I've got with the unit. So overall, what we have here is a jump starter with an air compressor and a power bank that will power your laptop. Ridiculously large power. 1 to 10, I give it a 9.5 at least. I absolutely love it. Anything that is not spectacular, and it's me trying to find something to say against it, but overall I absolutely love it. It's been the best investment I think I've ever made as far as something like this goes. It's started the car over 30 times So I do need to recharge it because you know, you don't want to drain the battery too much. But I wanted to see how long it would last. I had one of those old big, I guess it was a lead acid battery charger, the old kind. I had one of those, and when I did finally need to use it, it was always dead itself. So this, you can charge it once a year. You might want to check your individual unit just in case yours don't do as good as this one. Now this is an unbiased, I bought this. I paid $120, I think it was, for it on Amazon. It was not given to me at all. I had to buy it. Another nitpicky thing that I already mentioned before was the stickers came off. It did have stickers on the box, on the case, but they did come off, so I just went ahead and took them off. It's not very, it does stick, but it's not very sticky. And the surface of the box isn't smooth, so it's got like a pebbly surface, so essentially... Oh, this is where I got 600 amp. It's a 600 amp peak heavy duty jump starter, but the manual says 750. So I don't know, I may try to find and update this video. I may try to find a 1000 amp clamp meter and see if I can figure out exactly what amps it is putting out, because I would like to know that myself. The case itself, it does come with a case. Now the case isn't anything spectacular, but the case is better than no case. It has dividers, it has this foam to protect it so it can get banged around a little. The case is rather fragile. When you go to close it, you want to make sure that these are lined up properly so it snaps in place. Otherwise you're damaging it, or you can, but it does keep the weather off of it and does protect it. So I mean, you could buy a $100 Pelican case if you want it, but I think the case is more than adequate. The unit itself has a funny kind of a rubbery, maybe plasticky rubbery feel that helps keep from dropping it. So overall, I highly recommend it. Absolutely love it. To anybody that needs one, this one's a great one. So I gave it at least a 9.5 to 10 out of 1 out of 10. Very, very good unit. I love it. And I'm going to zero this clock so it's easier to tell how much time it took. So the time won't be exactly right, but we'll start at 12 high noon, or maybe 12 midnight, depending on your point of view. So the last test on the jump box here, I don't see the point in, honestly. I've recharged it to 100%, but I'm going to do a test just in case somebody wants to know, but it's not really a fair test. It's not going to prove anything or show anything because everybody's laptop is different, essentially. So I've got the right connector. There was a set of connectors here. I chose the one that fits my laptop. Also, my laptop runs on 19 volts. So I'm going to turn the unit on. Set it to 19, plug it in, you can see, I think you can see the two green lights. So I've got power. It's running totally on the Strongr thing. I would take the battery out of the computer to show that it is running only on the Strongr jump starter. But with this, as a lot of computers or laptops, if you take the battery out, it doesn't work at all. So it has to have that on there. Okay, and that's 20%. I'm going to stop it there. If I can get in on the... You still see both buttons are lit. If I can zoom in, the battery's fully charged. And now that unit's down to 13%, so I'm going to stop it here. Okay, it's now May 24th. I still have 95% after charging it in the car. The outlets, the USB outlet says 2.1 amp output at 5 volts. So I'm going to see my phone is in emergency mode with the battery practically dead. So I want to see how it does charging the phone. You have this cord here. So it's charging. It's putting 1.18 amps, about 1.2 amps in, so it's only going to put in the phone what the phone draws. And it just says charging, it don't say slow charging, so it's getting everything that the phone wants. So I'll let that set a little bit and see how long it takes to charge and see what it does to the battery itself. And now we're down to 88%. .99 amps, just saying 1, but we're up to 34% on the battery. And we're down to 87%. Let's see how it does. Oh, it's back up to 1.19, 1.2 amps, so it varies a little, but okay, now we're down to 80. It's still on the 1.19, 1.2 amps. 1154. Okay, we have 78% on the battery. The amps have dropped a little to 106, 107, and we're down to 76% here. Okay, now the amps has dropped down to 0.59, 0.5960 something. We're at 75%. It's 1249. The phone's at 94%. I don't know why it slowed the charging down exactly. Okay, so now we're down to 73%, and it's reduced the draw on the amps considerably down to 49, 48, 43. The phone is 125, and the phone is showing 100% charge. So that's how long it took, and it took it down from 95, or what was it, 95 to 72, so it could recharge the phone at least twice. Okay, so now it's drawing 0.21. It's on 72. The phone is completely charged. Okay, I'm going to charge it now. So I've plugged it in to the wall charger. And reset the clock to 12 o'clock. Okay, it's been about 2 hours. It's up to 50%. Okay, it's been about a third hour. We're up to 65%. One thing I've noticed while it's plugged into the charger, the wall charger, the light blinks steady and continuous. Okay, we're coming on about the 4th hour. At 87%. And now we're about 4.5 hours, and we're at 100%. So it takes roughly from 9%, it takes roughly 4.5 hours to charge it back to 100.